just walked through while I was filming. I was very, very clearly filming a video and he just walked through. G'day guys, Josh Huggett here from Huggett Media, and today we are filming a video all on the Canon R5 Mark II. I've just got it into my possession. I have made one other video on this camera, which was my first initial thoughts after shooting an engagement shoot with it. If you want to watch that, it's up here. Long story short, I'm a wedding photographer. I've come from the Canon R3, which I think is arguably the best wedding photography camera that's ever existed. On the Canon system anyway, that's what I shoot. I don't know the other systems that well, but I've recently moved to this for a couple of reasons. Weight and just general comfort after holding a long or a heavy camera all day. So this is going to be my initial thoughts on the Canon R5 Mark II as a wedding photographer for a wedding day, as a wedding camera, and we're going to talk about it together. Things I'm going to be focusing on this video is going to be battery life, because the Canon R3 battery life is fucking phenomenal. I'm going to be looking at comfort over an entire wedding day. Hopefully, because it's such a lighter camera and it is so much smaller, it's going to cause less strain on my hands and on my wrists. I'm also then going to be looking at image quality, but I'm sure that's going to be fine. If you're looking for a pixel peeping video, then this isn't the video for you, because I wouldn't know how to pixel peep, even if I was trying to. So join on, come along, sit atop the Canon R5 Mark II while we go shoot an entire wedding day here in Adelaide, South Australia. Looking to be an absolute bloody perler today. The sun is shining, but we're also getting some nice cloud cover. It did rain all day yesterday, so it's nice and cool. Should be an absolute ripper of a day. Let's go shoot a wedding. You can tell this camera's new because I've still got the hot shoe thing on there, which is normally the first thing to go, and I've still got the eye protector, which is normally one of the first things that I lose on every camera that I own. I forgot to mention it in the intro, but the R5 Mark II will be sitting atop my Canon RF 50mm 1.2. This lens is my pretty much use all day lens. It never really comes off my camera except for the ceremony when I switch to the 70-200, but it's my main body, my main lens. Takes probably 90% of the photos for the wedding day. So it'll be sitting atop that, which will be a nice test for it, because I dropped it out of my car and it's all a little bit bunged up, and the focus ring, or whatever this ring is, doesn't move as it should. It does make focusing a little bit more difficult, and it loves a little bit of a crunch whilst focusing. Canon, if you want to send me another lens, that'd be great.
Look back over at your mates, give them a little chuckle. Yeah, there we go. They had the goal out the back. They're like, the main type of
Are you going to stand there, you're going to look at each other, you're going to have a really good time. Okay. Woo! Bit more noise.
That was an amazing time. Who's going to get the most drunk tonight?
That's what you got to do, man.
Perfect. Right, you got your earrings in, don't you? There you go, tuck your earrings in.
I thought that was a really cheesy smile, sorry.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. There, perfect. Just put your earring back in. Here you go. Great. It's more natural, less. Cool. Great. Now look out the window while you do it. Beautiful. Look at me and smile. Perfect. Done. Alright, so just a little bit of update now that I'm at the ceremony location. I also just filmed most of this little clip, but forgot to actually hit record on the camera. I'm now here at Anvers Winery, ready to do this ceremony. So now that I'm boys getting ready and girls getting ready done, I have used far less battery than I thought I was going to use. Heads up, I'm not sponsored by Canon. Canon didn't send me this. They did give me a bit of a discount, but I did not get given this at all. I literally bought this with my own money because I wanted a smaller camera. So heads up, this isn't sponsored or anything like that. I bought an extra 2 batteries for this camera purely because I thought I was going to be using far more battery than I actually am. I'm at a higher risk of running out of SD card space than I am actually running out of battery. This here, the original R5 with the original battery made for this camera, is currently at half. I've used half a battery, I've taken 360 photos. The camera has been on for the same amount of time. This one here, the R5 Mark II, which I've been using as my main camera, I have taken 804 photos, still at full battery. How is it still at full battery? I'm sure that'll go down pretty quickly, but still at full battery. I'm really enjoying the small form factor. I do miss the buttons that sit here on the R3, so I can actually hold it in any way, and I'm finding that I don't really enjoy this turn, so maybe we buy a battery grip, but if I'm buying a battery grip, then I may as well just use the R3 that I already own. As for features of this camera, I have used pretty much none of the new features at all. I haven't used the AI tracking, which I might set up now. I haven't used the take video and shoot photo mode. This is pretty much set up exactly the same as my R3, but it is just a little bit smaller. However, that battery is blowing me away. I really just wanted to make this update so that I could talk about the battery, because I've got another 2 in here, but I've only got another 4 hours of work to go, so maybe we won't use them all. I'm also not 100% sold on the shutter. I don't know if I like that noise. Yeah, even on mechanical shutter, I don't know if I like that sound. It sounds like such a small thing, but when you hear it all the time, I can turn it off. That's just a lens. Not sold on the shutter sound. Oh, there we go. Just then, taking those, I've now gone down to 3/4 of a battery. So that was 819 photos and 3.5 hours of photography on a wedding day. And I've just gone down 1 little battery. That's fantastic. These new batteries obviously are doing their job, and they're doing a bloody good job as well. So right now I'm going to switch from the 51.2 to the 70-200. Maybe that'll use some more battery because zoom lenses tend to use more battery. I don't know why, but they do. 70-200 on the camera. Let's go shoot a wedding. All right, so we're at 1,900 photos taken now, still at 50% battery, which is absolutely fucking blowing my mind away. My biggest fear with this camera was the battery life. So yeah, coming from the R3, which is a very, very big camera, this is fucking tiny. It's so small. It actually feels like a toy. With this new RF 70-200 sitting on top, it feels like I was taking photos during the ceremony, and I genuinely had a moment where I was like, I don't know if people know that I'm a professional photographer because my camera's so small and my kit's so little, but it's so light. I have my own thoughts on the RF70-200, which I'll make a video on as well, but mainly based on where the zoom ring is in comparison to all the other zoom rings that Canon has. But so far, the fact that I'm only half a battery down after shooting most of a wedding day, that's family photos, boys getting ready, girls getting ready, ceremony, is absolutely fucking wild. Anyway, image quality, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. We'll check back in after we do some bridal party photos.
Yeah, pass one to your wife. Yeah, it's all over you, man.
Here you go, great job. Everybody smiling, 1, 2, 3, smile. Ooh, ready, 1, 2, 3, go. Nah, more noise, bit more. Yeah, a bit more excited. Other from there too. Great. And now just walk towards us, nice. Well, you have to walk slowly because you're in a motorboat, but there you go. Looking at each other while you're walking as well. Look at each other. There's a car coming and go. Get off the road. We're done. Come back at sunset.
It's your turn. Come on down.
So we're one battery down, 2,700 photos or thereabouts. For one camera battery, that is very, very impressive on such a small camera. Now, yes, I would get more out of the Canon R3 because it's a bigger battery, it's a bigger body, but I'm very, very impressed with that battery life. My plan now is to see how high I can push this ISO. That being said, I don't know if I'm actually going to be here late enough for it to be dark. We finish at 8:30 tonight, so I don't know if I'm actually going to be here late enough for it to get completely dark in the room. Hopefully I am. Hopefully we can get some nice dance floor photos and that sort of stuff as well with the system, but I'm really, really enjoying the small form factor. My hand doesn't hurt as much as it normally does at this point of a wedding day. I'm still not over that shutter click. Still not convinced on the shutter click. It is still a very, very small camera though. Very small. Not as small as this Insta360, but still a very, very small camera. Now we just got some tea, dinner, chow down. Some more sunset photos out here on the road. Might try to get to a vineyard, but I don't know if we will. And then dancing. It's so bright inside, I'm still shooting at 2.8. I'm still able to shoot at 2.8 using the 70-200. So normally at this point of the day, I'm kind of like switching to my 51.2, so I don't need to put a flash on, but very impressive. Very impressive stuff. Can you stop like squeezing them together?
Wait, my hands look like they're
Well, this is a bit strangly. This is a bit murdery. This is a bit headlock. And see, that's maternity shoot. If you go too low, she's pregnant. There's a real fine line between strangling and pregnant. You're gonna go right in the middle. There you go. Put your hands on top. Beautiful. There you go. Now, and now try to look at each other from there. Turn your heads and look a bit. Oh, yeah. Can you all hobble towards us at the same time? Oh, that's great. Walk towards us nice and slowly, looking at each other, having a really good time. Yeah, way more fun. Beautiful. 2, 3, go. It's so this. Yeah, with our powers combined. Did it with girls and with boys too. You look stunning. You look perfect.
Do we hide behind the flowers?
You look great. Oh. And look at each other, have a really good time as well.
Oh, fuck!
Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, you ready? Great. Looking at each other from there. And a little kiss from there as well. Beautiful.
Hey, give us a 3 Mississippi on that, actually.
Yeah, 3 actual Mississippi, not 3 you just got married Mississippi. Yeah. Turn and face each other, holding hands down like this. Beautiful. And turn your heads and look at each other as well. And pull her in for a bit of a kiss from there too. Great job. For 2 people that didn't want to have their photo taken, you're doing a very good job. You're doing a very, very good job. Beautiful. And turn your heads and look at each other. Perfect.
Am I doing the same?
Nah, it's just a photo off the hand.
Yes,
So.
okay, maybe not on my
We did it, babe. We got married. And Josh and Lewis were there. Can you put it down? We're going to do a little bit more romantic. Less grunting. doesn't film well. So, a little bit more romantic. You're just going to kind of like scoop her ass and then you tilt. Can you just look at me? That's a great photo. That's a good little wedding pic, that one. And there you go. Yeah. Isn't that what every football player does when they break their foot? They go into to fucking acting. No, you go into morning radio. Isn't that what's next?
All right, party people, it's been about a week now since that wedding. I'm now coming back in here and editing everything as well. Looking at what I've been seeing with you, this has actually turned out to be a really, really good wedding. The photos from this camera are absolutely fantastic. We always knew that was going to be the case. I mean, it is now 2025. Currently, it's New Year's Eve, but when this comes out, it's 2025. Cameras can only get so good, and also a camera is only as good as its lens, and I'm using pretty good lenses with the 51.2 and the RF70-200. Is there a tougher way to test this camera? Yeah, definitely. We could put it into far harsher conditions. Going forward, we are going to be testing this. This is now going to be our main camera body, so we are going to have probably about another 60 weddings on this camera by the end of the year. We are going to be able to put it through all of its major tests, really. So we do have hybrid photo video days coming up as well, which means we're going to be doing both photo and video on the same day. We do also have some longer wedding days. We've got some 12, 14-hour days coming up. We've got travel weddings coming up as well. In 2 weeks' time, I'm taking off to Melbourne to shoot a wedding, which is why this camera started a little bit earlier. We got it a bit sooner than we were anticipating because we've got far more interstate and international weddings coming up. So if there's anything that you would like to see about this camera, if there's any questions that you have, please put them in the comment section down below. I'll make sure that I can get to as many of these comments, questions, and criticisms as quickly as possible. If that means making more videos on the R5 Mark II, then I'm more than happy to do that. Next video I hope to film is probably going to be something on the 70-200 because I do have things to say about that lens. But yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed how small this camera was. And I'm still now, after editing this video and after hearing how much I've fucking waffled about it, I'm still incredibly impressed with this battery life. The fact that I was able to go most of this wedding day with 1 battery astounds me. I was genuinely prepared, literally, because I work with a lot of people that use Sony cameras, and I came from using the R6 and I came from using original R5. I used it for a few weddings. They chew through batteries really, really quickly. I'm so impressed with how little battery this camera actually used without me purposefully trying to save battery. You know, lots of people turn their batteries off, or sorry, they turn their cameras off when they're changing locations and that sort of stuff. I do nothing like that. I don't turn my cameras off to save battery. I normally just put them on the ground and leave them on, or go and do something else. So I'm not like this super battery conscious person, and I'm so impressed with how long this 1 battery lasts. Autofocus is as good as the R3. I really enjoyed that. The way that I shoot with my camera is that I use the 9 points of autofocus, and then I will click and drag my focus point, just like the old days where you used to use center point autofocus and you would find your focus and you would drag. I still use that same system even with all of this eye tracking. I like that it gives me a little bit more control over what I'm actually taking a photo of, and I'm able to pick where I want my focus to be. I find that if I use the entire area autofocus, it does find other faces that I don't really want it to be focusing on.
I'm very, very picky like that. But for a small camera that I didn't use a camera strap all day, I literally just held it in my hand with the 51.2. The next day, no soreness in my hands, no soreness in my wrist. It was only an 8-hour wedding day, but I mean, a normal wedding day is only 2 hours more. So very, very impressed. Initial thoughts after one wedding. If there's anything you'd like me to test, again, make sure you put it in the comment section down below and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. Until then, have a fantastic new year and I will see you in the next video. Love ya.